Hello and welcome. So you've clicked on this video today because you've been wondering to yourself, should you buy Octodad Dadliest Catch in 2026? So we'll be looking at all the different reasons on why and why you shouldn't get this game, and is it actually worth it? So without further ado, let's get right into it. So what actually is Octodad? So Octodad is an indie game made by the developers Young Horses. It was released back in 2014 after a first game which they made in 2010, and they made a successful Kickstarter campaign that obviously helped make the second game. And so the game itself, you're an octopus pretending to be a human father. So nobody notices and you need to complete everyday tasks. So the thing about the game is that the controls are quite difficult. You can basically only use your mouse, and the thing is that you need to keep under your identity of a human, and you can't make your family suspicious if you start breaking everything around you. And so it gets quite funny at sometimes, and honestly really fun. So starting off heavy with the pros of the game, something I think that is really good about it, especially since it's quite an older game now, it's been about like 12 years, the gameplay is amazing. So the physics of the game is what's really makes it actually quite comedic. The fact that you have to go through, for example, a shopping center, you have to go buy food, going on these different tasks, like making burgers for your children, or going to your wedding and having to not break and make everything around you fall on the floor, while you're flailing your tentacles everywhere, and it's actually really fun. The controls again is quite awkward, but it makes the game quite memorable, and I don't think there's really many games like it itself. The art style as well is absolutely it's quite interesting. It's like it's quite cartoony, but I'd say that for its time is still good, and for an indie game still holds up to this day, and I think that it's honestly worth it. It's quite worth it. The music as well is really good. The developers made a fantastic job on making music tied to all the different moments in the game, and I think they did a really good job. The characters as well are really good. Got his wife and children. There's a chef that eventually will kind of be the main enemy of the game. Basically, he's the only one that kind of knows about his fake identity and kind of see through him, and I think that's really cool. The game's really original. There's not many games that feel and play like Octodad, and it stands out even to today's standards. But it isn't a perfect game, and we'll see why. So I'd probably say the biggest backlash that I've felt from the game itself would be the controls. Obviously, it was intended to make it more difficult and to make it funny, but it can sometimes get annoying at some parts, but it's definitely intentional, so I wouldn't really say it's a massive con. The camera, I would say, is sometimes something that can be annoying for certain sections and makes the game quite hard, is that you can't always see the main character, and already with the janky controls, I don't think it really helps that much. The replayability of the game itself is quite limited. Once you've gotten the joke and you finished the game, I think that you're probably not going to touch it again. There are some bonus levels, and I think there are some character created games that people have made, like their own levels, which are quite good. But honestly, I don't think that many people will be opening the game many times after finishing the game. And also, the game's quite short. I finished the game in about 3.6 hours. But you could spend more time. There's collectibles. You have to find all of his ties, and there's plenty of things to explore on all the maps. There's tons of mini games and stuff to discover and they did quite a good job for the level design, and yeah. But aside from that, I think that we should probably ask ourselves, should we actually buy it today in 2026? So for the verdict, I'm completely trying to sway away from the fact that this game really hits on a nostalgic level. Definitely with all the YouTubers I grew up with DanTDM, Markiplier, um, and Jacksepticeye, and many others. They've definitely influenced the way that I love this game, and I have gone back to play it again after all these years, and definitely bought it because it genuinely hits quite home. Um, the game itself, obviously, I'd say is really quite funny. A lot of jokes and stuff. The characters have been voiced in a way that makes the game actually really enjoyable to play through. And there's quite a few moments where it's honestly really good. And I think even casual players would definitely like the game. Um, I think obviously there's no real violence and it's kind not a kid game, but it's just more for everyone, I'd say. There's for young people, even people who are adults or anything. I think they could definitely enjoy this game and get quite a laugh out of it. And people who are looking for something quite different, I think they would definitely enjoy the game. The gameplay itself definitely holds it accountable for being very original. And yeah, I don't think anyone should skip this game. The game itself costs $13.99 in euros, and obviously the only backlash I would have from it is the fact that it's quite a short game, and for that price, I'm not sure if it's 100% worth it. If it's on sale, I would 100% advise people to get the game. I think it's really good, and I definitely think that the deep gameplay is definitely one of the reasons why I would get this game. And so this indie game, for me personally, I think you should get it. Absolutely. For the price, I think that it's still definitely worth it. And I think people could still find this to be quite a hidden gem amongst games that have been come out since the last 12 years, and something quite different from what most people are used to. It's not an FPS, it's not a platformer, but definitely I would definitely recommend getting it. And I'd give it an overall rating of, I'd say 7.5, I think. Judging by the fact that it's not the best game in the world, but it still holds up today as a really good game. And even if it's not perfect, if you've never played it or don't know about it, I definitely recommend it. Or even just for nostalgic purposes, I think it would definitely hold up today. And so yes, I think it is still worth buying today in 2026. So thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate you guys if you stayed until the end. This is my first ever review for a game, and I would like to make many more. So if you did enjoy, make sure and consider to like and subscribe. It's free. I would definitely appreciate it. And if you do enjoy this review, if you have the same thoughts about this game or different, make sure to leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think I could have done better or I did good, and I'd definitely like to hear your feedback. So definitely, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.